Hey. Time for another out of this world story from our space. My ex-wife, together for 18 years, married for 11, 2 kids, 7 and 12, wasn't in a good place because of the lockdown. Her life had changed. She's an outgoing person, so she had many outdoor activities, acting lessons, dance lessons, going out with friends, as she needed that. Her social battery needed to be charged with people. On my side, I'm the opposite. My social battery is used when I'm around people. We were fine that way. She had her activities, I had my gaming night, and on the weekend, we saw people, invite them, or going out. Everything was fine. Until lockdown. No more acting lessons, no more dance, no more party. She was trapped in the house, and with the work-from-home policy in here, she didn't see anyone except me and the boys for a few months. Then, lockdown was lifted a little, and we could go and see people. So we helped a friend move out, and that's where she saw an acquaintance, and there was a spark. I think she saw a way to be free again. On 31 January 2021, she fell in love with another guy. That's what she started to trick me. She invited her side piece and the friend we helped moving for a dinner, and while I was chatting with said friend, she was in another room, making out with him. She invited him several times for game night, always with another friend, so I didn't suspect a thing. This kept going for some time when, out of the blue, in April, she told me that she wasn't in love with me anymore. She still liked me. I was still her best friend, her first love, the father of her children, but not her lover anymore. I proposed to see a therapist together to sort things out, and I even told her that I could move out, find a rent while we were trying to make things back on again. And she accepted that. 2 weeks later, while on a short vacation with her family, her mother, stepfather, brother, sister, I discovered the truth. She had a notification late at night while she was sleeping next to me, and the light on her phone annoyed me, so I took her phone and made it disappear. That was a WhatsApp message from Sheila saying, "Good night, my love," as a response to a selfie saying, "Good night, I love you." I read a few messages. That must have been a mistake. And I saw a selfie of Sheila, that freaking man, and a lot of pictures of them together. A lot of heart emojis. My heart stopped for a minute. What was happening? A few seconds later, she woke up and frantically searched for her phone. I told her. I said that I saw the messages, that I knew she was cheating, and she started crying. And I cheered her up. I still couldn't believe what I saw. She was the one. She was sad. I had to do something. We spoke a little, and I told her to act like nothing happened at least until we were home, without the kids. Monday comes, we head back home. The kids are still around, so we can't discuss the matter. But I had access to her Google account, so I went to see her travel. She spent almost every lunch in a park with him. She spent the afternoon of her youngest birthday with him in a spa, after she told me she couldn't have the day off. She spent the night with him when she told me she was with a friend of hers. So much lies. She wanted me out of our house to make a place for him while he was building their house. I saw bits and pieces of chats where he showed her the plans with, "These are the bedrooms for the kids, and what do you think of this table?" I was fuming. I wanted all of the truth, so I blackmailed her. Either you show me the WhatsApp messages and you tell me everything, or I publish a nice Facebook status identifying every friend we have in common to announce that she was leaving the house because she cheated on me with X. She knew I would do it, so she told me. She showed me. I didn't kick her out of the house, but out of the bedroom. After I regained composure, we talked. I told her I wanted her out of the house as soon as possible, but in the same time, we couldn't tell the boys at the time. The oldest had important tests at school coming, and I knew he would be so devastated that it could ruin his school year. These tests would allow him to go to a sort of junior high school. So, she spent her nights in her spare bedroom, waking up early to be ready to wake up the kids every morning without them to realize we didn't share a room. On the 1st of July, she left the house to rent something, while the kids were in summer camp. We told them when they came back, and since then, they spent a week with me, then a week with her, and the side piece. We are at peace. No war between us. I hate all the lies, but I can't hate her for falling in love. We're still friends, but I don't trust her anymore. I can't say I'm feeling fine, but I'm mostly okay. I got good friends around. I love my kids, and they love me too. I'm still single, but I feel I'm ready to meet someone. On her side, apparently, things are not as fine, but that's not my problem, as long as the kids are okay. There it is. I don't think I forgot a lot of things. Anyway, I needed a vet. Thanks for reading. P.S. English isn't my first language, so sorry if some phrases aren't understandable. And sorry for that wall of text. Our first reaction comes from OK Replacement 7697. When you say that things are not good, what do you mean? Is it with a fair partner? Do the children know why they separated? Does her family know why they separated? What do they say? The OP responds, "That's not the fairy tale she thought it would be. She knows she made me suffer, and that she hurt the kids, and I think she feels guilty. So she drinks much more than before. The affair partner is not a heavy drinker, so he's the one to drive. and I never heard anyone telling me that she was overly drunk when she had the kids. The kids don't really know why we split. Well, I'm sure the oldest one guessed it. We told them that we were out of love, still friends, and that mommy found another lover. They accepted that. Our two families know why we're not together. Her family is really supportive. I really like my ex-in-laws, and we still see each other. Moving on to the next comment. This is not a library 97. Sounds like she is feeling guilty and trying to drown it out with alcohol. She needs therapy before her alcoholism gets worse and she starts damaging her kids. So sorry you're going through this. The OP responds, I think she sees a therapist. Well, she told me she is, but as I said, I have no trust in her. I'm thinking about asking her affair barter, and if she doesn't, ask him to pressure her too. Careless Annual 5251 has the thought, I think you don't need to get in their relationship. She is your ex-wife now, so talk with her regarding your children only. What happens in her personal life is now not your problem. Only if it is affecting your children. Then only it becomes your problem. You will only heal fully after you leave her for good. You don't need to trust her. After all, you have no need to trust her. Except your children, she have no relationship with you. Also, don't become her friend or a person for her comfort. That is a disrespect to yourself. She left you with the biggest betrayal and backstabbing. So becoming her friend is not an option for your healing. Oki Replacement 7697 adds on, your ex-in-laws accept the affair partner or do not want. But she has not thought about leaving the affair partner. Has he taken any other problem? How is the relationship between your eldest son and his mother? The OP replies, my ex-in-laws know him. As I said, he's a friend of a friend. And my ex-brother-in-law is his friend. They had a hard time accepting the situation, but as I said, I don't blame her for falling in love, and I told him not to hold grudges. So they see them regularly too. My ex-mother-in-law has more difficulties to accept him, but she's a tuber. She won't show him. The relationship between my eldest and his mom are difficult. He's a teen, and she always had a problem really bonding with him, and he doesn't really like the affair partner, so yeah, difficult is the word. They can have good times together, but they can have rough discussions too. On to the next story. My boyfriend of 7 years and my best friend of 16 years. Last week, I, male, walked in on my boyfriend of 7 years in bed with my best friend of 16 years, female. She had recently moved in with us because her boyfriend had been beating her. This was the second time she was living with us because she left her wife the first time because she started her affair with her boyfriend. She has cheated on every partner she has ever had and has never been alone since she was 14. My boyfriend knew this. I know she had issues, but I was scared for her and wanted to be a good friend. A few weeks ago, they started making these jokes about if we were a throuple and would be together, and at first I laughed along, then thought they were getting too much until I told my other friend, and they convinced her I was being dramatic and just couldn't take a joke. I found them fully clothed, but he insisted for 3 hours he just fell asleep in there planning a trip for the following day for us to take. Of course, I thought that was odd because we were all on the couch. We could have just planned it in the living room. Finally, he confessed my suspicions were true. He wouldn't give details. I assumed they had slept together, but later it was just cuddling and kissing, which I could forgive, but then he said he wanted to pursue something with her because she was nicer than me, and I made him feel small and inferior. The weird thing are that she was married to a woman before me. We are still friends with her because we thought he just had sexual differences when he wanted to be with me. I should have had a red flag because when he said he liked me when he was married, I told him I couldn't be with a married person. He left his wife the next day, moved into his friend's apartment across the street, and said he wanted to be with me. After a 10-year marriage. Now, he did the same thing to me after 7 years, but my friend couldn't tell him to leave me first. She was still talking and seeing her abusive boyfriend too. She didn't call it off with him and actually took a restraining order out on him like I had been begging her to do for months now, until my boyfriend confirmed he broke up with me. The house has my name on a lease. We lived in it for 6 years, and 2 weeks ago we signed paperwork for a car together with an 8-year term. I don't understand why he let me do that. I couldn't live in the house with the memories, so I went back to my grandma's house. I had to move stuff out, which is pretty much everything because I was one who had bought all of it. I still begged him to take me back. He's convinced she's the one, and I meant nothing to him or even her. How is this so easy for them? I haven't eaten in 6 days, and my whole life feels over. Our first response comes from J2Nimindri. You can do way better than the both of them. Your now ex-boyfriend and ex-best friend are both narcissists, and those two happy narcissists can have each other. You could do way better than both of them because they say nothing and they do nothing wrong, and they both have a history of cheating. So they're both serial cheaters. So guess what? They're both serial cheaters. They can have each other. OB, you could do better than both of them. Don't think otherwise because it's not true. You could do way better than both of them, okay? Reasonable Doubt 59 chimes in. So two bad people have found each other through your acceptance of a cheater. Can you see that you'll be better off without these two in your life? Reject the cheaters and rebuild your life. Avoid the mistakes of the past and find a true partner of love. His wife wasn't good enough. and you aren't good enough. So he picks the serial cheater. Good luck. And finally, it's a pretty thanks. I'm with the others. I know you still have a form of attachment to them, but they are clearly terrible people. Anyone who can discard important bond like that for their own self-gain is the epitome of greed and makes them a hardcore narcissist. Most narcissists, from what I read, do not end up happy. They get short-term dopamine rushes, usually stemming from immoral actions. Cry, feel, do what you need, and do tons of self-care. Hope you feel better sooner rather than later.